Well, hello again, my friends, and how's everyone doing today? This is a random video I'm going to upload, and it probably won't be very long, but I had a subscriber send me an email, and they were asking about my necklaces that I'm always wearing. And I've had a few people ask me about my jewelry and whether I make it or I buy it. And so I thought I would do a self glorification video and show you some of my artwork. I did this a couple of years ago, but it's been a while, so I haven't actually shared these in a while, and I just dug out the ones that I could find to give you an example. These are far from being great necklaces, uh, but since people are curious about them, I'll give you an idea. These ones are. I mean, I made all of these like at least 15 years ago. I mean, a long time ago. So I don't make them anymore generally. Um, I can't remember if that's called stibite or something like that, but these are all really simple ones. This one right here says above the level. That was the name of my old construction company. And of course, my beaded Carpo necklace. Over here, I've got this piece of bone. I think I got that like 20 years ago or something. Basically, I just love randomness. Some of these have nice, patterns. Like I used to make Fimo clay, and this is like, I guess they're pot leaves in there. I made that one out of clay, and then I just like to find beads that match the pattern. I actually did make this glass bead right here. It's a mushroom bead, and I made that in a friend's house. I had some friends that were glass blowers, and they let me play around in their lab there. So I made like a couple dozen of those because I knew one day I'd want to put them on jewelry, and I did. So I've still got most of them, and I just put random beads on there. I've found that I have I'm very partial to balanced necklaces, so I figure it's kind of in my interest to make one that's unbalanced because, well, it's hard to explain. Left foot, right foot. This is one where I made the beads actually just about a year and a half ago, and I just basically make the Fimo into these long things and cut them into these kind of like Twinkie cross sections, if you will. I mean, anybody who's made those knows how they're made, but it's kind of hard to explain it if you haven't. So I figured while I was at it, I would share some of my other art over the years that I've made. This is what they call a bandsaw box, and this was my first experiment of one. And the reason why they're supposed to be so cool is because they're all supposed to be made out of like one piece. Now this is a bunch of laminated 3/4 inch, but when you open it, the idea is that all of it's made out of one piece of wood. So when you look at the sides, everything should match up, as well as the fronts. And it was just kind of an experiment, but I'd like to make more in the future. This and problem was that this one crapped out on me. My bandsaw blade broke on that one, so whatever. These over here are my kneeling benches or my meditation benches. I was actually going to start a business selling them. I sold them to a few people, and then I just kind of stopped making them for some reason, probably because I was spending too much on the wood, and I couldn't ship them because I just never got around to figuring out how much it would cost to ship. I made all of these with just screws, and then I just used plugs for the screw holes. But I made a couple with folding legs yeah, they're in there somewhere. This one doesn't have any screws on it, and I have a matching table. And this is a type of I think it's Padauk. I think that's what it is. Padauk, I'm pretty sure. Beautiful wood. And I think these are like Brazilian mahogany or something. Can't recall. It's been a while. My last couple little things. This is another example of what I do with the Fimo clay, because I made this one at least 15, 20 years ago. It's all chewed up. It looks like the dogs or the cats or who knows, maybe even the rats got to it. Yeah, I used to have pet rats. But I just make these for little stick incense burners. And I also love to make leather pouches for my Piz pipe. But I never really got too into leather. I made this, I don't know, about 5 years ago or so. It's all done with a variety of different, dovetail joints on the edges, and then I used a variety of different woods. And the drawers are rather simple. There's nothing complex about them. Actually, I never even finished sanding them down. But they work. And I use an alternating walnut and oak, and white oak. So that one turned out kind of nice. I made it for my wife. This was the one box I actually spent a little bit more time on. And it doesn't have hinges, but inside it's got a granite bottom, and the lid is made of a variety of an alternating woods, and I believe it's poplar, oak, and walnut. And if you flip the lid over, it's got this yeah, you can flip it over either way. I figured that would be a handy table for, you know, whatever. And on the bottom, underneath the granite, it's once again layered with a variety of different woods, and then it's dovetailed on the ends. So those are some of my creations. Oh, and I just found this in the corner. It's funny because I probably made this 25 years ago. And it's a walking stick. So I'll start at the top and work my way down. It's got a face I carved in there, and it has a piece of citrine and a garnet that are like gem cut. A guy I was working for, he just gave them to me. They were in these cases, and I said, well, I'm not going to sit there and have gems in cases. I'm going to glue them into the damn eyes on my walking stick. Make some use out of them. Standard crystal on top, and a little woven leather handle that I made, and some feathers. Now down here, it's got some hematite, a variety of different stones embedded within it, and looks like some magnets stuck on there. This is my serpent, and the snake was cut to go through. And mind you, I did all this with a pocket knife. I was younger. I didn't have power tools. I didn't have a Dremel, anything like that. So all this was carved with a pocket knife, and it took forever. And then it's got some symbols down here, a little peace symbol, and up here is a barn owl talon that I found a dead owl at an iron smelter, and I went home and got my clippers and came back the next day to clip this talon off. Sounds gross, but I'm glad I did because it was pretty symbolic for me. And a variety of crystals and stuff embedded in it. And then down here, hello, see, that's what happens when I start doing shit in here. I guess that means that I need to show this too. That was this thing a friend made for me. My friend Scott, the Ico drum. Thanks, Scoey. Down here I've got a symbol that I created back then that actually I've still kind of used for a few things. And some hair. This was I think one of these was like a girl I knew who, I think it was back when I was like 18. And these two are me and my friend Mike, and all three of us were friends. So when we cut our hair, I took the locks and put them on here. So I'm pretty sure the blonde one is mine. So anyway, there's my art and stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed for what it's worth. Now I won't do that for a few more years. Talk to y'all later and have a good day.